Hello, Misfits. How's it going this evening? Am I quitting gear for good? No, I'm going to probably look into TRT. Connection getting better, bro. I hope so. Me and Lenny should buy plots next to each other. Yeah, it's a good idea. I feel fine. That's the funny thing with plaque, a coronary artery calcium score that high. I don't know. I need to look more into it. Thoughts on cardio and bulking? Do the minimum, and I would do high intensity intervals. Maybe 3-4 times a week, 15-20 minutes. What caused my heart disease? I'd say genetics and gear. Yeah, I'm going to get second and third opinions. Hopefully tomorrow I'll find out how the stress test went. My goals is to maintain size. I want to get on TRT soon. Elbow pain and tennis elbow. I'm dealing with it right now. Try dry needling and active release. New ride. I got a Nissan Rogue 2016. We're all going to die, Holden Chang 63. We all have that appointment and we will keep it. The fat bully, what do I think of him? I don't know. Why do you ask? Somebody's 19, and obviously I don't recommend drug use at that age, which I don't. Best advice would be get blood work regularly, stay on top of things, because look at me now. When I was your age, I didn't give a shit. Now it's caught up to me. I mean, it could be worse again, like I said. But keep an eye on your blood pressure and cholesterol, you know, as much as you can. Yeah, I have a lot of, I have a lot of anger or negativity, which isn't good. Did I fast before the testing? Only blood work. I didn't have to fast before the coronary artery scan or the stress test. Just couldn't take any stimulants or nicotine 4 hours before because that constricts your arteries. More viewers than Bedroom Bully. I like the Nissan Rogue a lot. It's pretty nice. Drug use for 25. I've changed my tune on it. I'd say hold off. You know, give it another 5 years. If you don't want to wait, just like I said, keep an eye on your blood work. High blood pressure and cholesterol, it's going to come into play. You're going to have problems down the line. It's just a matter of when. What issues do I have now from drug use? Well, what I'm dealing with, the immense amount of plaque in my arteries, apparently, which I will follow up on, and just to confirm. But other than that, no sleep apnea. I have high blood pressure, so I take meds for that and cholesterol meds now. Liver, they tested me for hepatitis. It's fine. Kidneys are fine. I love Metallica. First concert I ever went to, eating plates, smashing weights, was Metallica in 1992. It's going, Bradley Male Prick. The game plan now is follow up with these diagnostics and get my test levels back up somehow, whether it's TRT or my own use. I don't believe eating eggs are bad for you. I believe very little my diet contributed to what I've got going on. I think it's genetics, runs in my family history, heart issues, and then a lot of gear. Favorite cycle was test, tren, and Anadrol. Is being single better than being married? I was never married, so I don't know. If you got a good woman, being married is better. Nothing, it's a companion. But if she's a snake, obviously being single. Porn addiction, I haven't looked at porn in months. But it makes you objectify women. I think it makes it hard to be in a good relationship, but women are nuts too, and there's games they play, but if you look at too much porn, the women are very, very attractive in it, doing, very perverted things that the average girl may not do. So it could be a problem, but I think it depends on the individual. I didn't use HCG this time. I just did Clomid and Tormarafine, and my mistake was not running anything to combat the prolactin. Cholesterol, high cholesterol in my family. Nobody's really had hypertension, only me. Best way to reduce high blood pressure and cholesterol? I mean, try to do it without medicine. Drop body weight, up your cardio. I'm not so sure diet and sodium is the issue with it. A lot of it's genetics, so you may just have to take medicine, James. Yeah, testosterone's made from cholesterol, and I just mentioned that to my doctor. I'm already with low T, and I'm taking Lipitor. So yeah, it's important for other hormones. My cycles at my peak, what, strength or bodybuilding wise? I'm doing cardio like 4 or 5 days a week now. Dave Mustaine was already out of the band in 1992. He wasn't in Metallica. Man, I wish I could make that last show, knee pad Brad. Slayer's last show in Fort Lauderdale. Oh yeah, the butter shakes. That was probably when I was at 340, my cholesterol was very high, and the doctor told me back then, he's like, you don't want to have a heart attack at 40. But I just didn't care. Check my DMs, I'll do that later, Jake. I'll be 41 next month, Wolfpack Eric. Taking SARMs as a 25-year-old, they're still going to affect your lipids, because I had blood work done on them. They'll work. They're not side effect free. I've been side effect free for years. Until I went for these diagnostics, I didn't know what I had going on inside me, so just keep that in mind. My honest opinion in the Lenny's situation health-wise, or what he should do to stay alive. TRT down the road, but come off it now, and he's going to have to take the medicines. The water retention's an issue for him. If you have heart failure, a strong diuretic like Lasix is going to be part of the protocol, I'm sure. But I would just come off if I was him. There's no point. I mean, he's having physical issues. I haven't. I just went in to get this checked out. Yeah, I like Motorhead, Black Sabbath, Ozzy. I've been to Ozfest before. Timothy, how's it going? No, the docs did not say it can get back on gear. They're vehemently opposed to it. I messaged my doctor through the MyChart app, and he's like, you could never take steroids or bodybuilding supplements again. That's what he told me. I took Phenibut, but I haven't feel like it hasn't kicked in yet. Yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. Although there's a lot of issues going on in this country he needs to address, especially with the healthcare system. But I would not vote for that crop of Democrats. It's garbage. I'm just trying to maintain my weight right now. I'm same weight as at the show. I just, obviously I'm less full from not being on gear for 9 weeks now.
Still lean, you know, I'm just pushing as hard as I can. CBD, I've been trying it for weeks. I'm not a fan. Hasn't helped my pain or inflammation. Hasn't given me the deep sleep I was hoping for. I track my sleep with the Fitbit. Dave Mustaine has throat cancer right now. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, Mustaine was out of Metallica in the 80s, I think. Any advice on how to get through hard times? I mean, if you got major depression, it's kind of hard to get motivated. I've been going through a funk myself, but find something, anything you like to do, and just immerse yourself in it, I guess. If you're religious, prayer, you know, whatever your faith may be. Yeah, I got erectile problems because of the low T and the high prolactin. I don't think it's so much due to the high cholesterol and heart problems. I had no problem getting it up when I was on gear. I got to give Lenny a call. He's out of the hospital, that's all I know. Yeah, Misfits and Danzig. Good stuff, old school. Yeah, I'm pleased with the Meow Man shirt, thanks to McLeod, New Universal Order, and the other guy, the guy that designed it, Italian guy on Instagram. What does it feel like being G'd up? It's better than an alcoholic buzz. I can't explain it. It's nothing like it. Even ecstasy that I tried, I would take G anytime. Very, very euphoric. I've smoked weed. Does nothing for me. I won't touch the shit again. I don't think it has healing benefits. CBD, I think the jury's out. I think it's a lot of hype. I work in that industry. I've taken it, so maybe in high dosages, but it's so expensive. But if somebody has terminal cancer or an illness or pain and marijuana helps them, yeah, if it works as a painkiller, increases their appetite. But for me, I don't need it. How are the cats? They're doing pretty good. Moochie had a little arm injury. It's better now. I don't know what happened to him, but I just fed him. Like I said, I'll be moving in a couple months, 15 minutes away, but I'll still check on him. My neighbors will have to take the kitty cat throne. I'm taking CBD plus. It's oral oil. It's like goji berry or peppermint. I don't know. I do a couple droppers full. Rick Simpson oil. Am I going to die? Aren't we all? My T level is 33. The range is supposed to be 200 to 9 something. My free test was about 7 points lower than that, than what it needs to be. It's 5.8. All right, Holden Chang, take it easy. Yeah, thanks, Ryan JB. I appreciate that. Mercury retrograde. 3 grams of taurine 3 times a day for the heart. Yeah, I read it helps with ejection fraction. I told Lenny about it. Nope. They won't get me on TRT. I looked into a clinic around here, and they want like $500 for a consultation and $350 to $400 a month. And that's for bioidentical hormones. So being lean has nothing to do with cholesterol. It was horribly high when I was shredded weeks before the show because the anti-estrogens kill your lipids. Masteron, Tren, Winnie, all that stuff. It's horrible. Powerlifting, not that it's safe, but it's safer than, you could just take Test and Deca. You probably don't even need anti-estrogen to do powerlifting. But your lipids are still going to be messed up. Phobias, yeah, being waterboarded, buried alive, that's my phobia. Paul Smith. No, I don't think I'll visit the Hoover Dam ever again. You going to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina next week for a cookie cutter vacation? I don't know where that is. I'm in upstate of South Carolina. Your cat wants to stay outside. I'm not an advocate for it. They go missing. My liver, the enzymes are high, but they tested me for hepatitis. I tried to explain to my doctor, bigger, more muscular people have elevated liver enzymes, and I was off gear. So he tested me for hepatitis. I'm clean. T level for a 19-year-old? I don't know. Everybody's different. Ideally, you would want it in the upper range, near as close to 900. No, I don't have any symptoms. No chest pain. No, I just went in. I'll tell you what, I watched the Widowmaker documentary on YouTube about getting a coronary artery calcium score. So that's kind of what prompted me to go in and get the test. Insurance doesn't cover it. It's $99, takes about 5 minutes, but I don't even know if it's accurate. I never saw the results. All they did was send me a text what it was and put me on statins and baby aspirin immediately. Andro, what do I think of those Andro DHEA? DHEA is a precursor to other hormones. I heard it's bad for atherosclerosis, which I have, but older people it might help. It converts other hormones in the body. So, I never did anything for me, DHEA. I didn't really help with the design. I just kind of consulted what I wanted. They did it all. They did a good job on it. Yeah, thanks. The Hoover bread. Oh, Seth, your neighbor, Pickens, South Carolina, was just down there today for the stress test. What was the name of the bars you bounced in back in West Palm? I can't remember the one Lenny and me worked. I don't think it was the Foxy Room. It was on the second floor on Clematis. It was. I worked at Chino's downtown West Palm, and then I worked at Splash Beach Club on Okeechobee. It was like a lot of Hispanic gangs. I was routinely covered in blood. What's next for Andrew Collura? Wait for the results of my stress test and see how my heart's looking. Hopefully get on some TRT. Think a vegan diet would help. Yeah, I've seen documentaries on plant-based diets. I believe it does, but I don't think my condition is a result of my diet as much as it is genes and gear. Yeah, I've read nothing's going to get rid of the plaque. But it could be a good thing that if it's hardened plaque, it means it's stable and less likely to rupture. But I don't know. I've read conflicting views on that. The doctor suggesting to get it down, as my primary and cardiologist said, take a Lipitor, pretty high dose, and 81 milligram aspirin. But, the plaque is there. I don't know how it got so high. What's my opinion on dummy Scott Mendelson? I don't know. I really don't follow him. I see YouTube sometimes recommends his videos or his channel. I don't really watch it, but I see he's trying to bench some record for his age. Still looks good. I don't know if surgery's an option. I don't know the extent of what I got going on in the heart. Maybe nothing. Maybe you just take the medicine. Maybe a stent. I have no chest pain or no symptoms for plaque that high of an amount, so it's strange. What's the last STD you caught and when? I've never had one. What was my diet like leading up to the 650 bench? Anything and everything. Wendy's triple cheeseburgers, butter shakes, my mom's lasagna, Chinese food, whole pizzas twice a week. Yeah, TRT I think is okay to take. Too low of testosterone levels is just as detrimental to your heart because it doesn't produce the nitric oxide. So you just got to watch your hematocrit, your hemoglobin, so donate blood maybe. But the doctors are not going to give it to me. They're like, I read something where they could be sued for malpractice if God forbid, they prescribe TRT and something happens with them knowing about potential heart issues. So it looks like I'm on my own there. Do you think sex is addictive? Of course. Anything that, you get the endorphins going like that, it's a rush. It's a certain feeling you get from sex, from people that are adrenaline junkies and do shit like drive their cars like maniacs, drugs, whatever. Anthony says, take vitamin K2. That's a thing. I've been taking it for years, and the cardiologist said it doesn't do a thing. It hasn't been clinically proven. I read multiple studies on K2, magnesium, D3, garlic, fish oil, niacin. I took all that, and when I was on gear, the pre-contest stack, and went for blood work, my cholesterol was through the roof. How do you reduce or avoid stress? Reduce, many different ways. Lifting weights, meditation, breathing. Don't sweat the small stuff. Stress is inevitable. You're going to have it in life. Just try to minimize it. There's, you can take herbs, kava, holy basil, CBD may work for you. Magnesium, drugs, such as Ativan. But I would just breathe. Try not to worry about shit. Don't let it eat at you. Just deal with it. Yeah, I had my cholesterol levels checked. They were 330. 343 was total cholesterol while on the pre-contest gear, everything I was taking. HDL dipped to 33. And then I retested end of June. Total cholesterol off everything was 220. My HDL was 87. Only after they got the coronary score did they put me on Lipitor. Yeah, I could have got 700 if I would have kept going. You ever done shrooms? No, I haven't. When did you start your first cycle? When did you feel side effect wise? 17 years old. I didn't have a clue. I got equipoise and Winstrol. I didn't have my joints hurt a little bit. I guess because it has something to do with your growth plates at that age. So maybe I was a little too young. But I got stronger. I felt great. I was able to sprint really fast. But I noticed my joints hurt a lot. But again, being 17 years old. Do you ever notice you feel weaker on carbs? If you have too much, yeah, you could be sluggish, but the right amounts, you should be energized. Have you seen the pic of Jason shoving a carrot up his ass? No. I'll pass. Anti-estrogen are worse for your heart than the gear. You're right. That's absolutely correct. Your microbiome creates vitamin K2 as well as most B vitamins. Yeah, I've been reading up on that, trying to eat more prebiotic foods and fermented like sauerkraut. Am I still with my whore or single? Don't call Misha that. She's a good woman. Yeah, I'm going to go see her next month. No, I don't watch anything. I watched the Tyson Fury fight. So any other sports besides football? Not really. That was the first boxing match I watched in a while. I tried Kratom. It's a pretty good effect, but what I didn't like about it was my sleep was very, very light. No REM or deep sleep on it. And I did it many times. I tested it, so I know it wasn't just a fluke thing. But I felt good on it. It's a nice euphoric feeling. Uptown Nick, yeah, doctors are in it to make money. Big pharma. Uh, please don't end up like Mike Matarazzo. Yeah, but I'm honestly surprised you don't see more of these guys with heart issues. I mean, I don't know. It's just, a lot of it's genetics. So do you think being off the gear you will naturally improve? No. Very, very, very difficult. If I can get my test levels just back to normal range, maybe, with just be very meticulous about diet and training. But otherwise, no, not at this age. Would you think about cutting gear completely? Pretty much, other than TRT at this point. Like Tren, I have no business touching that stuff now. Tren, Winnie, even anti-estrogens, orals. If anything now, a little bit of test. Clomid, HCG, that type of thing. What's a good amount of carbs? It depends on your body weight, how you respond to them, what your goals are. Favorite big chain pizza place? I'm not a fan of them. I like real Italian New York style pizza. There's many in Florida. There's one up the road here. Out of all those places, I'd say if I had to pick one, Papa John's. Would I ever try a carnivore diet? Yeah, I mean, supposedly that's very good to reduce calcium in the arteries. They say it's the refined carbs that are the worst. Would I consider going vegan? If I have to have heart surgery or stent, or if I got cancer, I think I would consider it very, very seriously. Have I talked to Lenny? No. I texted him when he was in the hospital. I'll maybe try giving him a call tonight. Would I ever take SARMs to compromise for gear ever? No, because they wreaked havoc on my lipids. I had blood work done on them. Rad 140 worked really good for me, but I had my cholesterol levels taken. It killed my HDL and raised my total cholesterol. Thanks, David. I appreciate your prayers. Yeah, I tried Kratom. I liked it, but I didn't like the sleep that it gave me. Stranger Things. What Stranger Things? Did I tell my girlfriend about the news? Yeah. She's very, very supportive. How does Phenibut compare to G? G is way better. Hits you quicker. Doesn't, it's more of a euphoric feeling. But GHB, you don't feel it the next day. It's liquid. It's in and out. Phenibut, you can feel good for the next day. But G is better. Hits you quicker. Just do a couple capfuls. Maybe this. Danny Valdone, he's 27. You did 315 for 4 on incline. Should you juice? No, I would say hold off. Just change things up. I mean, I think you could make some progress with diet and changing your diet and changing your training routine up. Wait on it. Get your blood work first so you don't, have issues like what I'm facing. Make sure everything's on the up and up, and just research all the potential side effects. But I would wait. You're still young. When did I start losing my hair? In my 20s. How's my liver looking? My count is high. My liver enzymes are always up, and I'm not worried about it. I have no hepatitis or anything, no cirrhosis. When can we get Meow Man shirts? Check with Delray Misfits gear. I guess that's where they'll be sold. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. Woke up in the hospital one day. Man, sorry to hear that. Epilepsies. Oof. Scary. Is Brad a cookie cutter? He does a lot of things that cookie cutters do. No, I didn't hear Lenny's Bohemian Girlfriend died the other day. Have I talked to any of the Misfits? No, not recently, no. Bart is a cookie. Do you drink apple cider vinegar? Yeah, I tried to put a couple tablespoons in about a half a gallon of water and drink it. GHB it is made of really toxic chemicals. Best type of cardio. For what? For general health, slow, steady state. For sport-specific conditioning, you might want to run sprints or intervals. For fat burning, low, slow pace, steady state. That's good for your heart and fat burning. What does your girl think of Lenny? She thinks he's pretty funny, hilarious. I got a Nissan Rogue, a couple years old, low mileage. How many trannies have you blowed? 0. Thoughts on Nate's latest video where he came out as bisexual? I'm unaware of that. All I know is he didn't hit on me or Lenny in Vegas. What else? We should start a misfit, like a compound. We could all live, have our own little city. What is a Porsche Mankey? Favorite cycle back in the day? High dose of Test and Tren and Dianabol or Anadrol. Is GHB what Michael Jackson used to take nightly to fall asleep and then he died? I don't know. I thought his doctor prescribed him something. He has a boyfriend on the side, really? Did you ever hit bottom? Is that how you saw the light? What do you mean? Yeah, I've been pretty depressed lately. Yup, Lenny's my best friend. What would you do to Nate's girl in the bedroom if they weren't a couple? She's attractive, yeah. What are your thoughts on tattoos? They're so common nowadays. I mean, if it really means something to you, like so many people have a Bible verse, even non-believers, so what's the point? I mean, if it means something to you, a deceased relative or child, go for it, but I'm always going to stick to the old adage Lenny said. Why don't you tattoo some muscle on your body, boy? Shout out to Howie B 73. I'll comp you. I don't even want a dime for it. I haven't spoken to Lenny. I might try and call him tonight. What do I think about intermittent fasting? Yeah, be hard to put on muscle doing that all the time, but I think your body does need a break every once in a while, your organs from digestion. Does low testosterone fuck up your test life? Yeah, very much so. The best threesome I ever had with Lenny, the Jamaican Teresa that we were giving Dianabol to. Well, they do prescribe GHB. It's called Xyrem. Tony Huge has a prescription for it. That's a prescribed version of GHB, but I thought it was something else that they gave Michael Jackson. Can I come do a workout with you in Lenny? We're in 2 separate states. You can come here. Hit me up. We'll go train. I'm on Lipitor, 40 milligrams. You highly recommend me checking out Nate's girl's recent post of her in a thong. What's her name? I don't know. I don't follow her. Brendan Pottage. I see the little kitty there. How do I sleep good at night? You've got insomnia. Sometimes I don't sleep well. I don't know. I've tried it all. Try melatonin. Try time-release melatonin. Phenibut will knock you out. If you take it early enough in the day, by the time it wears off, you'll get a good sleep. Propofol is what Michael Jackson used. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think it was any GHB. Space Hatch. Always hungry, live. How's your pancreatic enzymes? I don't know. I've never had tests for those. How am I maintaining my size without gear? Just eating good, trying to get enough sleep, and training consistently. It pumping. Is Lenny's dick really that small? What drugs should I be taking? Try weed to sleep. Yeah. But again, with the weed, much like Kratom, wasn't a deep sleep for me. I mean, I guess everybody's different. Would I bone down Nate's girl if he does full gay? Is Coke a good pre-workout? Yeah, if you want your blood vessels constricted. Space Hatch is a bitch as... Best breakfast to eat before training. I like the old high-protein waffles with a little bit of natural peanut butter and a little bit of syrup, some yogurt, and blueberries. CBD helps you sleep. Yeah, it helps me sleep, but it's not deep sleep. It's a lot of light sleep. What else? What else? What else? Anybody have any thoughts on that soccer player that won't go to the White House, that female? Cry me a river. It's ridiculous. Does Lenny have a negative net worth? Shit, I do too now with that car loan I got. I don't drink coffee regularly. On the 4th of July, I had some decaf Starbucks just for the heck of it. Thoughts on Jason being catfished again? Probably, I'd say he gets what he deserves, Pomps. He's got to know better. I understand he's got a disability, but I mean, if he's got enough presence of mind to manipulate people, he should know better than to get catfished over and over. Best cycle to become a cookie cutter? I don't know. No one watches women's soccer. I know, I've just been hearing it on the radio. I don't watch that crap. Rachel Maddow, I don't know. Rachel Maddow. No, she's a talk show host. Some soccer player for the U.S. team. You're right, Ariana's biggest fan. They're grossly overpaid. You see the money these basketball players are making? It's fucking outrageous. They make way more than an ER doctor. Or how about somebody working in corrections? Or linemen working on the power lines and power grids? What do they make compared to the average basketball player? It's insane. Yeah, I like podcasts. Mostly sports, NFL. I like Michael Savage podcast. There's an Unsolved Murders podcast I'll listen to on Podbean. Thoughts on ice baths for recovery? Yeah, I think it's great. Nate was a dirty boy in Vegas at STD-ing. Rapino, yeah, I think that's it. I don't know what her right-wing radio was talking about. That's how I heard about it. Do I believe in aliens? No, I don't believe in them. D. Kelly knows what I mean. He was a corrections officer. Get paid friggin' peanuts. Why aren't they paid more to do that job? How are the Bengals going to do this year? Their top picks out for the year. They're snake bitten. The guy was supposed to be a great left tackle. 8-8 maybe. Nate went to gay meth dens while he lived in Vegas. Got a taste for pipe. Megan Rapahoe. Misfit Maniac 123 says NBA players should be paid the same as Publix bag boys. You're right, and that's probably what most of them would do if they couldn't play basketball. Who do you think is a very underrated bodybuilder? Good question. Underrated bodybuilder. I don't know. I'd go with older guys, Paul DeMayo and Mike Francois. Favorite rapper? I don't have one. Favorite weed strain? I don't know. I didn't know there was weed strains. Please share your live after so I can watch it on the way to work. Yeah, I always leave it up. I don't take them down, and then it's on YouTube, so it's whatever. The Browns, we'll wait and see on the Browns. Could be all hype with them. No, I don't play video games. I did back in the day with the Nintendo Tecmo Bowl. Jason G, very underrated. Should know Crespa. I've heard of G.G. Allen. Yeah, I told the story on the podcast. The first podcast I did out in Florida. I'll let Hope Solo impale herself with my lightsaber. No, Roofchild, I think going from 170 to 200 in a matter of months. Try to do it a little slower. Favorite back exercise? Rack deadlifts, followed by bent over barbell rows. Yeah, Mayfield is good, but I think he's a cocky little punk. Dale Chance is the most underrated bodybuilder, eh? Steelers under 9 wins, good bet? No, I'd say over. Tecmo Bowl, yeah, that was it. What was your first time jerking off story? No homo. I was 14. Somebody had a porno VHS tape. I think it was like one of those old 80s one. It was called Body by Jackie with this blonde slut. Yeah. Should you take diet breaks when cutting? Should you take diet breaks when cutting, and how often? How big of a deficit in calories too? It just depends. I mean, it's very, individual specific. I didn't take any diet breaks. When I did my own diets back in 05 and 06, I didn't have any coach. It was like low calories the whole way through. I didn't do a cheat day or a refeed day. I didn't know about them. I just thought you got to just eat friggin' low calorie and do cardio and lift. I had one cheat day a week this time around, and then towards the latter portion, we cut out the cheat days and did refeed days. So if you're using a lot of drugs, I mean, they help so much. If you're doing it natural, maybe you want to look at a diet break. Penley versus bent over barbell row. I always did them like Dorian, and I feel like I had a pretty good back, and Lenny did too. Penley, I see a lot more powerlifters doing. I'll do them nowadays just to throw them in. Body by Jackie. Yeah, it was a parody of the Body by Jake infomercials. That creep Randy West was in them. Do you believe in marriage? I don't know. I'm using Pramipexole, courtesy of by Research Liquids. Of course, it's for research purposes, so I'm researching it to see if it lowers my prolactin. So far, in 2 weeks, I've been using 0.25 milligrams of Pramipexole every night. I've had hard-ons 2 or 3 mornings now, whereas for months with the low T I didn't, so I think it's helping out. Is Phenibut safe? Yeah, if you use it responsibly. Do you smoke marijuana? No, I have. I won't touch it anymore. I don't have any use for it. Ever hear of Kathy Moore? She was a bodybuilder in Cali. No. Anything else? Who's the best porn star? Big Lenny Person. Lenny had his love pass away recently. Yeah, somebody said that. I'm going to have to give him a call. I don't know. Have Lenny tell you about his last encounter where he got beat up with a huge black dildo. Jinx Mays or Riley Reid, I don't know. You said once you'd get a dog after Bootsy, under 10 pound or over. I don't know. See what the missus wants. Who would you rather lick taint from, Carla Dunlop or Nefertiti? Carla. 40s and is not waking up with a boner much anymore that sign of low T? I think it's one of them. When I'm on gear, I have them like every morning. Now using that Pramipexole, I've had a couple. I feel like my test is coming up. So, yeah, Kevin LeBron was one of my favorites. What's my plan moving forward? Hopefully hear positive news on the heart and get the test levels back up. Probably a real blessing I went for that score because I was going to plan to do the Pittsburgh North Americans, but I better just back off at this point. But I'm still going to train hard. I think I need to find something else to compete in. Briefly passed through Chicago one time. Suggestion for one good shoulder exercise. Left shoulder frozen several years ago and torn labrum now. Right shoulder starting to hurt. What the fuck? From what I read, it's strengthen your lower traps. Do exercises that help that area. It's not so much the rotator cuff exercises, which I've always done. So like band pulls, band pull aparts, rope face pulls if it doesn't hurt too much. Look into active release and dry needling. And maybe try neutral grip presses and partial side laterals. How many kids do you want? I don't want any, I don't think. Ever been outside the USA? I've been to Jamaica and Mexico on cruise ships. Tom, how's it going? Too majestic glute spread right now. Nope. Who would I order 66 if you could order 66 anyone? AOC. Does jerking off hurt your gains? I don't think so. I jerked off like a fiend when I benched 650, so there you go. And then also when I won the Florida States in 2006. Do lucid dreams mean deep sleep, high GH pulses? No, it means you're in REM sleep. That's when you have your dreams. Because I think the Fitbit tracker is accurate. Whenever, like, I'll wake up in the morning for the alarm and I'm dreaming, and I check the tracker, it was REM sleep, not deep. Deep, I don't think you do dream in deep sleep. I think that's REM sleep. But the MK is supposed to help with both. Have you seen Bob Lazar's video on Cookie Cutter Netflix? No, what's it about? What if your whore wants a small puffy dog and a stroller with it? I don't think she will go to that extent. Does ejaculation lower T levels? I don't know. I think it's conflicting stuff on that. Conflicting, reviews on whether that's true or not. I would do it a lot back in the day and was strong as shit in the gym. Test is low. Have a lot of coronary artery calcium. Tom just did a stress test today. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully tomorrow I'll hear back. We'll see about the TRT, Kevin. We're waiting the results on the heart diagnostics. Nice, Lord Retard, a fellow Pennsylvanian like Lenny. Who's Lenny's Bahamian female friend that passed away? I don't know. I got to give him a call. I don't know who that is. What's your favorite way to get in the intense rage mindset before heavy sets? I listen to heavy metal, and I still say to myself, I'm sick of this shit. I got credit card debt. Think of the shit going on in the world, the corruption, the greed, people preying on the weak. Stuff like that gets me going. Best pickup line? This guy Lenny used to work with at the hospital, he said his pickup line, he was like from Tennessee, he'd just go up to him and say, "Hey babe, how about me and you, let's go fuck." I'm not using pre-workout. I'm doing more of vasodilator, staying away from the caffeine, so I'll do like arginine, citrulline, beet powder. Most times you stroked it in a day. Probably 3 times as a teenager. The most brutal fist fight I've been in. Can't say that there was one. As as big as I got, it just didn't happen. People thought twice when I was a kid, but I mean, they're not brutal. And, elementary, middle school, wasn't big enough to do damage, just call it brutal. Thoughts on giving rim jobs like Bard? Yeah, I've done it. Give it a shot. Can't be on TRT with a bad heart. I don't know. I read too low test is bad for your heart too. So, but they're not going to, the doctors aren't going to give it to me. I'll have to go to like a TRT clinic or just do it myself. Listen to Ghost? No. Click the question tab. Ever had someone with Crohn's disease shit on you by accident? No. How many cats do you have now? 1 inside and there's 3, 4 outside. The gear you're taking now to what you took at your 650. How much were you taking then? Like double, triple? A gram of tests, 50 to 100 milligrams of Anadrol, Tren, 75 milligrams every other day when I did the 650. Now I'm not taking anything. No, I don't think it's possible Lenny would get his hospital job back. Tall Beat Kev sent a request to be in my live video. My dream job, realistically. Something in the medical field, I don't know what. No, I don't believe in extraterrestrials. I'm going to let Tall Beat Kev into the live. No, I'm not going to move back to Delray.
Oh, what is up? What is up?
How's it going?
What's up, dude?
If I knew what was up, I'd stay down.
It's all good. Dude, question. If you would have, it's two questions. Either one, you stay with Jason the whole month of rent, or two, stay with your cats forever. Two questions.
Stay with Jason 1 month, rent?
Yeah, stay with Jason for 1 month. You have to pay full rent, full food, or give away all your cats. Two choices.
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm not giving away the cats, so I'd have to deal with Jason, I guess.
Fucking rip, bro. All right, dude. Laters, dude.
All right.
He's trying, bro. Laters.
I don't know. He asked me if I'd rather live with Jason for a month or give away all my cats, so I'd live with Jason. Never heard of her. I bet Jay Masters would let people in his lives, or anybody else like me, the people's champ. No, that wasn't Pumps. What would I recommend for a beginner cycle? Just do some tests. You know, low to moderate amounts. You can slap Jason around if you want. Any good stories? Can't think of any. Last time I did his own. What are my thoughts on central nervous system fatigue? Yeah, I believe training can contribute, and too many stimulants. I find taking a week off remedies it. If the balls are hanging low, are they working? Not necessarily. You could have sperm, but they're, many sperm, but they're not live, or sperm motility. How did you and Andrew meet? Have you checked out any bare knuckle FC yet? Yeah, I watched the things on YouTube. It's pretty good. Chris Liebman a couple times knocked the shit out of people. I'm letting the Baronia Bull in. Popeyes is better than KFC. How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Going to work?
Yeah, just on break now at the moment. Yeah.
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 Where? What state? What state do you live in?
I'm in Queensland, Australia.
Oh man, what time is it there?
Right now it's 12:10 p.m.
Is it hot?
We're in our winter, but in Queensland, man, it's always hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably about, we're at a Celsius, so we're like, 22 degrees at the moment. Yeah. I know what it is for you guys, like 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's been going on? Like, yeah, getting those blood results back?
Yeah, the coronary artery calcium score was high, so I went for a stress test today, so I'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you just don't want to... Yeah, I put that comment up before about Matarazzo. I was listening to one of the little interviews he did before, about a year before he passed, and yeah, talking about